Hi, good afternoon. This is Meredith Lego, and I'm doing a series of videos on Ascension science. A lot of the content that I'm bringing forward has been teachings that have been channeled by Ascended Master Hilarion. And if you haven't watched, I would encourage you to go back to the beginning to understand more about the background of teachings that have built up over time. So in this particular session, if you will, or video, I'm going to share answers that I was provided to questions about what it feels like to actually be in the fifth dimension. And again, dimension is more of a level of consciousness. So it was more of like, what does that feel like? And I'm not sure why I asked feel as opposed to what it looks like. I guess it's because I tend to be more clairsentient, but that was the question. So his answer actually started off not necessarily touching upon the question itself. He actually started off by saying, "Come to a place of peace. Many generations of suffering are coming to an end. Soon truth will reign supreme." And it was actually about this time that I was channeling that I got a lot of interesting cryptic messages like this that I'll be passing on probably in the next video that talks about, get ready, things are starting to change. But that was just one statement he said in this particular session. And then I did ask the question, what does it feel like for the four bodies to be in the fifth dimension? And by four bodies, I mean physical, mental, emotional, and etheric. His answer is that the fifth dimension consciousness allows for immediate manifestation of thought and sound. There is no gap of time for the vibrational mirror to relay. Have you not noticed even now that your manifestations are speeding up closest to the point of thought inception? Clear your mind and only focus on that which is in the best and highest good for all. Focus on peace and love, unity consciousness. For this is the way and future your now time will shift to. The physical body is activated with light body crystalline light codes. Information or codes in the form of photonic light will pulse through your body, spread through liquid light plasma. Even now, this is visible to your blood lab doctors. The crystalline DNA holds the codes for the full light body activation. Emotionally, many will have found the 0 point. By living in the present, there will be limited need to look into the past or develop a thought form projection of the future. Even now, you increasingly forget simple discussions and experiences from your recent past. Each experience is uploaded to the Akashic Memory Complex in real time, lessening the requirements for stored memory. This, likewise, also enables the ability to download or harvest memories stored in the Akashic as experienced by any soul. You have memories of past lives and future lives. You simply tap into the Akashic record of Gaia. The etheric or causal body are now fully in charge of the human vehicle. No more reliance on the mental body is needed, with the exception of fight-flight situations. And that's really all he offered on this particular question that time. So in terms of sort of unpacking that a little bit, when it comes obviously to mental activity, I think what he started off by saying is that just obviously be mindful of thoughts, because the time is compressed between what you think and what actually starts to happen. There's less time in linear space-time playing out for you to kind of slow down the absorption of the lessons that will, or the experiences that will be coming through your thoughts and kind of coming back and replaying to you. From a body perspective, he talks about more light crystalline codes coming in. I do understand that that creates more of a silicate-based body first before we go on to other structures. But essentially that starts to happen now. So even now, and I notice it within my own body, is that when we've got massive light activations coming in, you can actually feel the shift within the sort of frequency rate of your own DNA. And I've felt the shift over the last several years of the DNA actually spinning much faster than it was before. But that's essentially what he's saying is happening. And then emotionally, obviously, when you get to that point, you are not as triggered or traumatized by events that go on around you or in the world, because you've learned basically not as much gets to you, because you've basically released a lot of sort of emotional triggers or traumas that have built up either earlier in this life or in past lives. And you start to play more of an observer, play more of an observer role, not necessarily getting hugely emotionally invested in every single situation that comes at you. Obviously, that doesn't mean giving up your free will or what you believe to be the right kind of interest for you and what's in the highest good, but you may not be just as emotionally charged by everything that's coming at you. So I think those were really the key things. And then obviously the last thing is that there's just more integration of your higher self into you. So again, Ascension is really about being able to have kind of multi-dimensional consciousness, sort of all within the vehicle that we're kind of driving around with or operating around with. So you're bringing in more of that sort of higher self or higher consciousness into your everyday life, and it becomes the point through which you act. You're not acting as much through your ego personality construct. He did again say that there's going to be a couple of situations where maybe the soul isn't the primary driver of the vehicle or the higher self when it comes to flight situations. But that's basically it. So again, I hope this continues to add to your understanding of the Ascension process and the Ascension journey. And I think in the next video, I'll share more of kind of the snippets of sort of here's what's happening or about to happen. So stay tuned for that. Thanks and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.